10 started off with me making the worst decision that I have made on this journey so far. It had me down bad all of week 10 and part of week 11 until I realized that I had something in my toolbox already that helped me through what I was going through. So if you want to hear about what happened in my week 10 and 11, stay tuned. Hey y'all, my name is Tasha. I am mom of 3, wife to T. I'm an educator, and I am also on a health and wellness journey using Zepbound. So let's talk about it. Week 10 started for me Labor Day weekend. It was August 30th. I took my week 10 shot. I made a video. My last video was shot in that time frame, and I was discussing how September was going to be different. It was a new beginning. I was going to be budgeting. I was talking all the right things in that last video. And then I made a decision to go to KFC and eat this, right? My children, they went to their grandparents' house for Labor Day weekend. My in-laws stay an hour and a half away from where we stay. And for some reason, my husband and I, we just let time get away from us. And so we had to drive all the way down and come back. And by the time we came back, neither one of us wanted to cook. And he was like, let's just go and get something. And the closest thing to us at that moment was the KFC. And so I was like, you know, I'm not going to eat fried chicken. I'm just going to try the pie, right? The pot pie. I love that pot pie. Favorite thing on the KFC menu. And so we go there, 15 minutes to get to the house. We get to the house, guess what? No pie. That should have been my first warning. Girl, you don't need this pie. So my husband, he drove back to the store, brought the pie. And as I was getting ready to eat it, I just felt like, you know what? I don't need this pie. I really don't need this pie. And like I told you all before, I was intending on vlogging, you know, my week. Take you all throughout the week to show, you know, the things that I've done. And I was vlogging the fact that I wanted the whole pie. The crust is my favorite part, but I ate the majority of it, but I did not eat it all. And I was just so happy. I was showing you all that, you know, I had made that decision. I was doing well. The only thing that did was probably keep me from looking 9 months pregnant versus the 4 months pregnant that I was looking after I ate that pie. Because I promise you, a few hours later, I was done. My stomach, it got so huge. I had that fullness. It was sticking out. But like, I was feeling so bad. I wasn't nauseous. I just felt real full, and my stomach was almost painfully like bloated. And you know, I had just came off of Aunt Flo. You already be a little bloated with her, but this was like times 10. And I was so uncomfortable. The next morning, I felt a little better, but I still had some bloating. It went down a lot. I still had a lot of bloating. Didn't go to the restroom, and I was still feeling full. And that week I was doing everything to try to like feel better. I mean, that fullness never left me that entire week. Even though I upped my walking, I upped my water. I even did my vibration plate because I was like, I'm gonna shake this out of me, right? But nothing worked. But it got better and better. I mean, just a little bit better and better as time went through. Okay, week 10, I was 191.2. And so when I weighed myself that Friday, I was 190.7. So I still lost weight that week, but I was still miserable. So now I'm entering week 11 with the same issue. Not as bloated, but that feeling of fullness, I don't feel like I had properly, I haven't, wasn't meeting my food goals, any of that, because I didn't want to eat. I was full. Anything that I was eating, I just felt immediately full. Like I can think about eating, and I was just like, I'm full. I don't want it. And so one morning I get to work super early in the morning so that I can work on my doctoral work. And I was busy just researching, reading, doing all the things that I needed to do for my paper. And I just happened to look up, y'all, and I saw this right here. This, oh my God. Like I told y'all before, I have had issues with my stomach before I got on Zepbound. Constipation, all the good things, right? And I always keep a bag or two of this ginger tea. And I totally forgot I had it. I mean, that's what happens when you're going through. You don't be thinking about stuff. I already had this, and I had it at work. And it's just basically this ginger tea. It has crystals. You mix it in hot water. But for me, I like it better in my water bottle with ice, shake it up, and I just sip on it, until I'm done with it. And when I tell you, I had so much relief. So much relief. Like it got things to moving. By the time I weighed in on the 13th, y'all, I was 188.4. I made it to the 180s. So I lost 2.3 pounds that week. And yay for one, but it was a time was had, and it wasn't a good time, but a time was had. And so what I learned about that process is this. I made one horrible decision that day. And I didn't make it because, that was my only option. I was being lazy. I had reservations. Instead of listening to myself, my intuition, instead of seeing the signs, when that pie did not show up at my house the first time, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. What I've learned from this is that, you know what? I cannot take my health for granted, even slightly. I've eaten at fast food restaurants since being on Zepbound. I've eaten at McDonald's, but I always get like a 4-count chicken nugget kids meal. At Chick-fil-A, I get that kale almond crunch salad with those grilled nuggets and that buffalo sauce. Shake it up. If you have not tried that, try it. Delicious. And then I've been to Chipotle. I can't remember any other restaurants that I've been to. But this was just something that I just tried. And I felt so guilty after I started, feeling bad. But you can only be down on yourself for a moment. Everybody gets to have a moment, but you cannot stay there. One of the things that I've learned in the last few years is that I have to count everything that I go through as joy. The Bible says, count it all joy. And that's exactly what I am doing with what happened to me. Because it allowed me to understand that this medication is teaching me how to eat and what to eat and how it affects my body. I can almost guarantee that I felt horrible or bad after eating that pie before. It's just that I wasn't on the medicine that time, right? I was used to already being inflamed, already being in pain. What is a little nausea for a couple of days? Because, your digestion system is a little bit faster when you ain't on the medicine. So, I'll take that for a couple of days. I'm pretty sure I was swollen, bloated, all those things. It's just that, when I was dealing with everything else, I didn't notice. Zepbound has basically said, hey, you eat this, this is what it does to your body. So I am learning what different foods, what they do to your body. And I'm so grateful and thankful, which means that I'm not going to stop trying foods. It's just that when I try them, it needs to be because it's my only choice, right? And so I'm not going to not try different foods at different restaurants, because you have to maintain what you're doing. And it's unreasonable to believe that I'm never going to a restaurant again. I'm about to go on this cruise, right? And I can almost guarantee that sodium, all the things that are going to make me bloated and not be great is going to be on the buffet and in these restaurants. And I just have to deal with it. But now I have in the back of my head that, you know what, girl, remember, you was looking about 4 months pregnant. Do you really want that? Get you some greens in, eat your veggies first, get full off of that, and then try it, right? So that at least you won't eat the whole thing or 90% of it like I did with that pie. I'm just so thankful and grateful that I have the opportunity to share this with you all, because I know a lot of you all are making decisions or feel inadequate when it comes to some of the things that are happening on your journey. But you have to know that that's why it is called a journey. You don't know what the road is ahead. You don't know what obstacles you're going to face. But when you do, it's what you do while you're in the thick of it that matters, and what you learn from it. I tell my students all the time, my classroom, when I was teaching, my classroom was the place that I wanted them to fail. If you're going to fail, you need to fail in my classroom, because I can teach you how to fail forward. It is only a true and complete failure if you don't learn from it. And so I learned from this experience that it's okay to be down on yourself, but it's not okay to stay there. Number two, when you're going through something, stop focusing on the problem, because I was so focused on my stomach hurting, not feeling bad, and feeling bad that I forgot all the things that I had that I could have tried, right? I was trying all this other stuff, but I already had something that I could be using. I also learned to take a moment, and while you're going through, stop. Just stop. A lot of times we are focused on the problems that we have, that we don't stop and we don't seek out what we already know is there to help us, right? That's a lesson within a lesson. Sometimes you just got to be still. And in that moment of me working and just sitting there like, oh my God, just blank, not trying to figure stuff out, I saw it. And that bag had been there the entire time. For the whole 2 weeks, that same bag that was just sitting right in front of me had been there. But I was so busy going through, my head down, not feeling well, that I never looked up to see what was right in front of me. Sometimes you just gotta stop, pause, and look up. And whatever you're going through, the answer is gonna be right in front of you. That's a word. That is a word. Be still and know. And finally, I learned that, you know what, I need to pay more attention to what is happening to my body while I'm on this medication. Zepbound is allowing me to know what happens to my body when I eat certain foods. I've probably had that pie 100 times over the years. I love the pie, but I can almost guarantee that that pie has probably had me bloated and down before. It's just that Zepbound just made it extreme. Like, girl, this is what this pie does to your body when you eat it. Are you sure we're gonna have this pie again, right? So I am going to start a journal of what I eat and how it affects my body. Do I have bloating? Do I get constipated? Do I get diarrhea? And also tracking, how does it affect my blood sugar? So I'll just take my blood sugar before I introduce something new, eat it, and then I'll wait 2 hours and test my blood sugar again so that I can see if it was like a crash out type of situation or was it okay. And I'll just start keeping a running list so that I can continue to add things to the rotation of foods that I am ingesting each day. Like I said, I'm not on this journey to lose weight. I am on this journey to be healthy. I am on this journey to understand exactly what I need for my overall wellness. Because your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, all of those things, they have to work together. And it is my duty to make sure that I am in line and I am in sync with every aspect of my wellness. And so I'm grateful to Zepbound. I'm grateful to you all for watching, for listening to me rant. And I'm so grateful for my family. They understand what I'm going through. They don't pressure me. They don't try to make me feel horrible for not wanting to eat what they want to eat, for changing my decisions. I'm thankful for my family. YouTube family, as well as the people that I see on a regular basis. So we're gonna try this thing again. Maybe this week I could do a little vlogging, or you know what, I might do another video. Like I said, I go on a cruise soon, and I'll try to figure out this vlogging thing for this channel. But until then, peace. Remember to always keep the joy on your journey, and I'll see y'all in the next video.